Long live Lisa Rinna. Now, normally there's an expletive thrown in the middle there, but I'm trying to get this channel monetized, so forgive me if that's not in there. Welcome to a very special episode of Survivor Squared. On tonight's episode, we are recapping Traitors Episode 7, The Black Banquet. And we are doing it in a very special way because I'm recording this mere moments after it aired on Thursday night. So much happened, I couldn't wait the weekend. I couldn't wait till Monday. I had to get this out as fast as possible, and I hope you all appreciate what we're going to be talking about here, because this right here was the moment of Season 4. Lisa versus Rob getting banished. Yam, poor Yam. We're going to get into all of it. Natalie stealing the potion away from Tara. We're going to get into all of it. And normally, my co-host is here, Bailey Buffs, and we break down everything. She couldn't make it, so you have just me going through my notes all alone. But if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. My name is Tony Squares. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, help this channel grow. We are building on the way to Survivor Season 50, and I can't wait to get there. I have so many guests planned coming on. We have the Power Rankings episode coming out. We just released the top 10 twists in Survivor history on the channel. The bottom 10 twists is coming out later, but until we get to 50, we're building and recapping Traitors Season 4. And today is Episode 7. No Michael Rappaport, thank goodness, but sadly, we have Colton. But let's start right away with the top and break down what happened at the Black Banquet.
You look gorgeous. Bring it.
We ended the last episode knowing we were going to have a shocking murder in plain sight. Lisa was going to be wearing an amulet on her dress, and someone had to touch the amulet, and that's how we know who was going to get murdered. But everything else that happened was unknown. First off, the fashion. Everyone looked fantastic. Yam with his feathers, Candiace with the headdress, Maura with the coolest looking hat I've ever seen. And yes, Colton did look ridiculous. More on Colton later. But when Lisa comes in looking like a mix of a sailor and some type of a guy selling newspapers in the 1920s, and that red amulet that doesn't match anything else she's wearing is sitting right there on her lapel. And we don't know who's going to touch it. We cut away to commercial. It could be Tara, it could be Kristen, it could be Yam, it could be Natalie, but as they're all sitting there wondering what the tarot cards are, wondering how long this turkey has been out, Tara, I'm right there with you, buffets are disgusting, Alan enters and quiets the room. Because Alan tells you one of you has been poisoned. And I have 2 vials here that are the antidotes. And it was fantastic theater to see who was going to get these 2 antidotes, because everyone wanted them. Everyone was throwing everyone else under the bus. Steven, you served me food. Lisa, you kissed me on the cheek. We pulled Kristen's card out of the tarots, Johnny Weir says, and everyone wants these vials. But the people who want them the most are Tara Lipinski, who I am rooting for so hard in this series, Kristen from Top Chef, and Natalie. And Kristen kind of sits in her seat and said, hey, if you guys are going to fight for him, you guys take him. And so Natalie and Tara go to do it, but before they do it, Johnny from his seat nabs one of the vials, hands it to Kristen, and now Tara and Natalie are fighting over the other one. And Natalie, listen, this is fantastic. Survivor, gamer. She knows her ass is in the hot seat, or feels that way, and says there's no chance an Olympic gold medalist is taking this vial over me. I am more important than her, and somehow takes the vial, to the shock and awe of everyone else. And then Alan, while we think, viewers of this show thinks there's no chance they're going to tell us who gets murdered here, nope. We're going to make a show of it. It's going to be theater. Alan walks through the table and says the person murdered is Yam. And in front of everyone, they take him away. They rip his chair out from under him. They grab him by the shoulders, and they lead him out the door. And as he's leaving, his feet dangling in the air, he says it was Lisa. Lisa kissed me on the cheek. It was Lisa.
You, Yam. Lisa kissed me with the shit.
Oh boy, and now we fast forward to breakfast, and there is no murder. Everyone knows who is gone, so everyone's coming in one by one, and the first thing we see are the 3 traitors enter the breakfast table, because they still haven't spoken since Rob voted for Lisa last round table, and they have it out. Lisa knows she's going to get most of the arrows shot her way. So she's asking Candiace and Rob to fight for her. Candiace is all for it. Candiace is my tag team partner. If I ever need anyone by my side, Candiace will have your back through thick and thin. That is the entire reason Candiace is in this show, is to have someone's back, and she shows it for this hour of television. But Rob, the ever smart one, is sitting there going, you might already be 6 feet under, and I'm not going to try to shovel you out. Instead, I'm going to put dirt right on top. And that's kind of what happens for the rest of the episode. Lisa and Colton continue their tete-a-tete. Johnny, Weir, and Mark think Natalie was really weird at the table, so they start throwing stuff at Natalie. And we have a couple different angles of who could be traitor and who could be faithful and where are we casting our vote, until we get to a very interesting and important challenge. Now, before we get to the challenge, I do want to note we have a very important conversation where Rob reveals to the others that he believes Lisa is a traitor. They start throwing Natalie's name out, and they give Rob an olive branch to say, like, hey, I can hang on to Natalie. I can save my fellow traitor. But Rob knows in the end it's going to be Colton versus Lisa, and Rob feels safer on Team Colton than he does on Team Traitor. So we know he's coming after Lisa. Lisa might not know, but we know what Rob's decision has been made. And I think that was very well done by the people at Peacock to tell us what was going on here. We get his point of view, Rob's perspective, and we know the entire time every action he takes is so he can get Lisa out. And in turn, when she says, I'm a traitor, seem that much more faithful. It was fantastic, and it gives us that perspective heading into this really cool challenge where they have to, I don't know, hike a mountain and get to somewhere. It doesn't matter. The housewives don't care. The important part is they're acquiring all this gold, and whoever, the 6 people that have the most gold, get to fight for this new weapon, this new power in the world of the traitors, the Dagger. And the Dagger, if you've watched Survivor, the Dagger is an extra vote, and you can use this extra vote at any round table of your choosing.
One of you here is now in possession of the Dagger, and with it the power to carve out history at the round table.
Rob ends up winning this Dagger in a big game of carrot in a box, and then before they walk back into the castle, Rob tells the other 5 people fighting for this Dagger that, hey, I have the Dagger, and we shouldn't tell anyone else that information. The 6 of us, the Dagger 6, as Candiace calls them, have a pact, and I love that they have a pact. I think it was a little bit too grandiose of Rob he knows who the other faithfuls are, but how can he possibly tell if he's a faithful that these guys aren't traitors? And he's still telling them this because he says to them, I don't want to get murdered tonight by anybody. So if the 6 of us don't know who who has the Dagger, or we don't let anyone else know, then none of us will be murdered, or at least one of us won't be directed at the murder. I think it was a little bit aggressive by Rob. Might have been his first misstep in a season full of correct steps. But it's okay, he makes up for it. Because this whole episode revolves around the round table. It's a good 25 minutes of the episode dedicated to this one part of the game. And it comes out hard. Lisa comes out at the top, starts attacking Natalie, because Natalie, in a conversation with Tara and Lisa, said, like, we murdered them. I mean, we banished them. It was the same thing that happened to Portia. We're trying to double down on the Portia debate. It didn't work. It worked the first time, but it was a faithful. It's not going to work the second time, and yet it's all Lisa has. So she's going after it. The good news for Lisa is there's a lot of people that suspect Natalie already. And also, she has her tag team partner in Candiace, who is doing a great job whipping up the votes at the round table. It looks like Natalie could be going under, but Natalie is a legend in her own right and fights back the best way she can.
You are just coming at me because you do not want to go home.
Starts pointing things right back at Lisa. Starts saying, if I'm doing this, you're doing this too. It's perfect deduction at the round table by Natalie. She's been in the fire before. She's had to fight for her life before by using her voice, by saying, you guys shouldn't vote for me, you should vote for someone else. She is used to this. It was a tough person for Lisa to come after her. She did it with valor, and Natalie stood there and took it and threw it right back at her. But what sinks Lisa is her fellow traitor, Rob. Sure, Colton can speak up and say, I think Lisa's a traitor. No one really cares what Colton has to say anymore. They do believe in Rob, and Rob is a very, very convincing salesman because he sits there and he lays out that not only do I believe what Natalie's suspicions are, what your suspicions are about anyone, out of this whole entire game for the first time ever, we were able to hear someone who was truly faithful, and they accused Lisa. Yam Yam was truly faithful, and his dying words were Lisa did it.
She kissed. It was an air kiss. It was a real kiss. It was a real kiss.
Lisa.
And because of that, we have to honor Yam Yam. We have to vote out Lisa effing Rinna. And to a man, almost all of them do. But before we get to that, I do want to make two remarks on two of the votes. In season 3 of The Traitors, we had Dolores throwing votes all over the place, mostly on Tom Sandoval. She was a moron. She played like a moron. She lasted till the end because no one cared about her. She was just a coattail rider to the bitter end. She would have been a 0-vote finalist at any final tribal because the point of the game is to gang up votes on someone so you can get them out. If you throw one vote on someone, you might as well vote for Alan Cumming. It doesn't matter. And also, it adds sus to you when you don't make a vote and you don't make a decision. Candiace, fighting for Lisa this whole entire time, is already going to have the sus on her if Lisa's voted out, says she's a traitor. What are they going to look to next? The person that was fighting for her the most. Candiace doubles down and says, I couldn't vote for Natalie. I couldn't vote for Lisa. Instead, I'm throwing my vote on Rob.
Don't think that you are a traitor, so I have a throwaway vote.
I was astonished. Candiace, who I have trumpeted as the best traitor out of the 3 traitors so far. I think she's been fantastic in as crazy as she's been. Just ruined her game with that single vote. Her voting for Rob is a shot across the bow of every faithful out there. The guy directly coming at Lisa, who might be voted out when you're writing down on the chalkboard, you're going to come after him, even though there's no chance he's going home, even though there's no chance, there's a good chance Lisa gets up and says, I'm a traitor, and makes you look even more suspicious. Candiace with one of the worst moves of the season and puts her directly in the firing line of everyone else next episode. But one more vote I want to talk about, and that's Dorinda. There's a lot going on out there about Dorinda and Ron Funches and what happened on camera and what happened off camera. There's also stuff coming out with Dorinda. Michael Rappaport's talking to Andy Cohen about how Dorinda and what's-her-face, Carolyn Stanbury, had a fight that wasn't on camera either, and producers were mad at Dorinda, telling her to not bring stuff that's outside of the game into the game. And still, Dorinda sits there and starts defending Lisa by running over Maura. And Maura's, not the best at this game, but she's trying really hard. Every time she says, I think, it makes me laugh. And she's saying stuff about Lisa, but Dorinda bowls her over and bullies her by saying, she air kissed you, she air kissed you, she air kissed you, and doesn't allow Maura to finish any sentence whatsoever. And then when it comes to the round table, doesn't vote for Lisa, doesn't vote for Natalie, doesn't vote for Rob, instead writes Maura, and doesn't spell it correctly, purposefully. She writes it M-O-R-E-A, as in I want more, and add an A to it. More is not a hard name to spell. It's not a foreign name to Dorinda. There is no, that was a purposeful name being written down by a true bully of a person. I don't like Dorinda, haven't liked her since the start, and she's showing her true colors at that round table. But in the end, Lisa Rinna gets most of the votes, gets sent home, stands there in, I think, 3rd position, and tells the entire round table that she is the most iconic and most legendary traitor. And we get an eruption of joy from the rest of the faithful around the table, just everyone in exultation, because not only did they take out a legend in Lisa Rinna, they found a traitor. The Donna Kelsey banishment just didn't hit well because we had just started the game, and it was a weird situation. No one really knew what was going on, especially the traitors, who were more shocked than overjoyed that they got a traitor because Donna was the secret traitor. Lisa finally was someone you could put on the mantle as a faithful, saying, we got that one, and now we have a string to link us to the other one. Sure, they might suspect Colton, they might suspect Natalie, they might suspect some of the wrong people, but already Johnny and Colton are talking about Candiace because how she talked about herself at the round table. There have been people to bring up Rob's name because he was so true in attacking Lisa. How could he know other than being a traitor himself? But the realest one, and the one we need to talk about moving forward, is what happens between Candiace and Rob. Can they work this game together, or did Candiace write Rob's name down and firmly break that partnership in half?
You're gonna write my name down as a hint to everybody here that I'm a fucking traitor? Oh my gosh, girl.
Normally, when we get to the turret after a traitor's been banished, especially when there's this many people in the game, Alan offers them the choice to add a new traitor, to recruit one, to offer a letter to the faithfuls and say, hey, come on down, be a traitor with us, add to our numbers. I do believe that's what's gonna happen at the beginning of the next episode, because we only have 2 traitors and so many more faithful. But what do Candiace and Rob do? Can they come together on that decision? Will Candiace try to get someone that she knows will be on her side, like even a Dorinda? Will Rob try to get someone that he knows will be on his side, like a Colton? To me, if I was in that castle, if I was in that turret, I would reach out to a guy that everyone believes is a faithful and that everyone trusts immediately. The name has never been brought up and he is already in the circles that Rob and Candiace are not. I would take Mark Ballas and say, hey, my guy, come on down, be a traitor with us, and see what he has to say in return. I would also look at Johnny Weir as someone you could say, hey, you're pretty smart, you're whipping up some votes, come on to the dark side and see what happens. Predictions for the future, I do think they recruit someone. I don't know who that recruitment is, and I do think Candiace and Rob will not work together. I think Candiace is the next person to go. I don't think Candiace is going to do well under scrutiny, and unless someone makes a big kerfuffle and a big mistake, kind of like what Natalie almost did talking to Tara and Lisa, I think it's a pretty easy vote to get Candiace out.
But the bad bitch that is Candiace is ready to play a motherfucking game.
Now, the last thing I want to say is a big prediction for the rest of the season, and it's a prediction that I don't like to make. Because of everything that's happening outside of the game. I don't know if you guys watching have heard of what's happening with Ron Funches outside of the game and the stuff he said about how he was treated inside the castle. The whole Michael Rappaport saga, which we've covered extensively on this channel. Then there's Colton. Colton's the big one. Colton is one that we talked about in our power rankings. He was on The Bachelor. He quit The Bachelor because the girl he wanted to be with also quit The Bachelor. They ended up getting together, and it ended very, very bad with allegations and lawsuits, and a lot of dirty, dirty stuff was out there, mostly against Colton. They have an agreement with the courts, with the judges, to not speak about each other publicly. There has been a settlement, and now Colton has come out true to himself, and he is a different person, and this is definitely, the Traitors is definitely an effort to rehab the image of Colton. And I don't know if Peacock realized what they were doing when they were filming this, how the public would accept this version of Colton, because he's kind of in that Dylan Efron role as the ultimate faithful. And he's playing like, as Johnny says in their little talk, a bear. And I don't think, this is my prediction. This is the one I didn't want to make. I think Colton is in this thing till the very end. And I think we are going to be sitting here watching Colton at the end, like Dylan Efron did, figuring out what is going to happen in this final setup of votes. Do they vote certain traitors out? Do they vote, like, I think Colton's going to be running this show at the very end as the people expecting him to be an ultimate faithful. He doesn't want to come to the reunion. He might be coming to the reunion. There's talks about the producers off screen. He didn't go on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live because of everything that was coming out. Lisa Rinna's calling him a stalker in Instagram comments. Traitors themselves had to release a statement saying, hey, public, lay off of these people when in real life it's just a reality show, just watch the show and shut up. That's not what the public does, Peacock. That's not what happens when you put these people on screen. They're going to start to talk about things that aren't happening in the game, whether that's the right thing or the wrong thing. We all deserve to be nicer to everyone that's on our screen, but at some points your past are real and they're inescapable, okay? And people are going to think things about you and bring up things from your past. If you're being presented as, this didn't really happen, don't worry about it, we're not going to address it, we're just going to be a new version of me. I think if Colton lasts till the end here, it'll be a real damper on what is a very, very fun and new and invigorating season of Survivor. The stars of this show should be Candiace, Lisa, and Rob. I think they've been fantastic to watch. But the longer Colton hangs in this thing, the heavier that crown is going to be of this season. And I think he hangs on to the very end. I hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, regardless, we'll be covering it on Survivor Squared. Again, thank you for watching this live recap of Episode 7, Season 4 of The Traitors. We will be back next week with the bottom 10 twists in Survivor history, covering Episode 8 of The Traitors, Season 50 power rankings coming up, many guests coming on this channel moving forward, building to Survivor Season 50. Again, my name is Tony Squares. If you like listening to this podcast, Bailey Buffs will be back. Don't worry. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, help this channel grow. I do truly appreciate it. And until then, don't touch any random amulets, guys.
I'm just so grateful for the entire experience. I really am. Thank you.